Hi everyone, my name is Yaron. I'm a senior software engineer here at Helios, and today I'm going to talk to you about Lambda monitoring. Okay, how we combine the three pillars of observability to get Lambda monitoring better. So, as we all know, Lambda monitoring is more challenging than monitoring regular services, as in normal services we usually monitor more the memory, the CPU. This is what interests us, but when we talk about Lambdas, the metrics are a bit different. We want to know if the invocations failed, if we had any timeouts, if we had any out of memory errors. So the whole observability and monitoring mechanism is a bit different. So today I'm going to show you how we do it at Helios by using tracing data which is coming from our OpenTelemetry SDK and combining data which is coming from AWS, such as logs and metrics, to combine them all together and get to better Lambda monitoring. Okay, so to our demo. So over here we have a channel which shows our alerts coming from our application. We have an alert called all Lambda errors. We see it popped up and we see an example trace for this alert. So we click on here and then it takes us straight to Helios with the trace. So what we can see here, we can see the whole flow, and we can see that the Lambda invocation was actually erroneous. So we click on this, we see the erroneous span, we click on it, and straight away we see the error. So we see that there was a type error. Int argument must be a string, a byte, not non-type. We over here see the payload, which had two numbers, so it was probably a wrong parameter giving a number. Okay, so we can also see here the CloudWatch logs. When we click on it, we see the logs which are pulled from AWS. We don't see anything here. Okay, we just see the start and report. So if this Lambda failed and we had to investigate it using CloudWatch logs, we wouldn't have known anything. Okay, so over here we see the quantity and the unit price. We can see up here the invocation. Okay, so we see over here that actually the report processor invoked this with this payload. So the fact that Helios SDK is collecting the payload allows us easily to investigate and see exactly what happened. Now what we can do with this, since we have the payload, we can click on this lightning and actually replay this flow. Okay, we can change here the parameters and maybe test it with a string, and then using this script in JavaScript, Python, or AWS CLI, just add your credentials, of course. Helios gives you the ability to replay this flow very easily and test it out. Now, after I showed you how I get from an alert to root cause in a minute, I want to show you more capabilities that we offer for general Lambda monitoring. Okay, so if I go to my Lambda function, so this is an overview which I have about the Lambda. So this is combined data from AWS and also from the Helios SDK, collecting tracing data from the invocations of the Lambda. So we see that these metrics are actually collected from AWS, while the out of memory and timeouts are collected from the Helios SDK, and we also see service interactions for whatever the Lambda is interacting with. So let's look at the Lambda itself. If we click here, we see the list of traces. Okay, These are some metrics that we collect as well about the Lambda invocations. And as we saw earlier in the trace visualization where we had the CloudWatch logs, we can also see them right here and click and see about every trace, see its logs and everything. Okay? So this is one thing. I can browse through all of the invocations and see them exactly right here. I can also get a glimpse view of the arrow. Okay? I can close it, and of course I can always click on it and see the full visualization as we saw before. And now another screen which I would like to show you is this cloud entities screen. You get by clicking here and the Lambdas. Here you get an overview of all of your Lambdas in your system, and you can easily see some statistics such as the last invocation, the number of invocations, function errors, and some more data that you get observability about all of your Lambdas in your system at a certain environment. So this is it about Lambda monitoring today. You can read more in my blog post. You can get the link right below here. You can read more on our blog, and you can always sign up on our website. Try it for free. Feel free to contact us for more questions. I hope you enjoyed, and happy monitoring for your Lambdas.